Of course, as you know, that the U.S. has joined the carbon emissions, and it's the Paris Accord. And the problem that I have with that is we end up spending most of the money for this think tank on energy as opposed to using that money for something else. And it's always the way that it goes. The U.S., out of all the countries, even though we've been out of it for 2 years, have done more to reduce emissions than any other country. And we have seen that dramatically decrease. Why? We have abundance of nat gas. And the very thing that the left still hates because it is considered a fossil fuel. Yet, we have plants in the country, particularly in Texas, that first developed this plant, a power plant, that burns with zero emissions for nat gas. And so one of the things that I would have to expect that the exporting of nat gas and the liquefying of nat gas is going to begin to grow and take off a little bit as we export that. I think we were in a place, not so much now, but we were in a place where President Trump was going to take us to a place of exporting nat gas to Western Europe with a great deal of abundance. Well, we got to be careful of that now because that's not likely to happen, because Biden administration is not going to want to hurt Russia. Oh, I know they give great lip service to Russia, but remember the old adage that if they're accusing us of doing those on the right of doing something, it's probably the exact thing they are doing. And one of that is cozying up to Russia. You remember the open mic that Obama was caught with saying, hey, listen, we'll talk about this whole, this missile thing and all this kinds of stuff that he was concerned about after the election. I just got to get through this election. You remember that. Already beginning to cut a deal. Can you imagine if that had been President Trump? Can you imagine? Of course, you probably can't even find the clip anywhere. So, again, one of those clips that you wish or at least I do, wish that we downloaded and archived, But there's media out there that certainly still has it, and it's still around when they need it to be. But that's going to be a problem, a little bit of a tougher way to go, because Russia is highly dependent upon exporting that gas to Western Europe. They're also highly dependent upon the threat they impose during the winter season to shut that nat gas off to those areas. So very difficult situation. Hey, remember to click the subscribe button right here on the screen. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when new content is added. And more importantly than anything, you don't want to miss all 3 live hours of Financial Issues every day from 9 to noon. And you can watch it on FISM.tv. That's FISM.tv.